Tank, he got the power, and he got the equalizers. Anything can happen with Tank. But Tank give away a lot of rounds. A chess match.
Did you understand in that moment, like, why he is who he is?
Yeah. I seen why he's able to beat these guys.
Big with 1,000 keys on it, but every key they knew that key was for a certain door to get into the building. When he's moving around, I'm saying he's the super with that big key ring, and he's looking for the right key to get in the door.
Curmel Moton didn't hold back when he warned Lamont about going through with a rematch against Gervonta Davis after new footage of Tank's powerful physique went viral. Moton urged Lamont to think twice. He highlighted how Davis has improved. Strength and polished skills make him even more dangerous now. Tank's spot as the face of boxing, he said, is no accident, and when Davis steps in the ring, anything can happen. Taking him on again, that's one risky move.
Guys, put good pressure, he got some skills himself, and I feel like it's gonna be a great fight. I know I'm the better fighter, the more sharper fighter, and I know I'm working harder than him, so, we're gonna see. But I know that I have what it takes, and I'm gonna prove it first.
Gervonta Davis's new training footage is setting the internet on fire. In a short gym clip, his insane conditioning instantly grabs attention. He looks stronger, quicker, and more focused than ever. Every punch he throws has precision and scary force behind it. This isn't just a guy hitting pads, this is a man on a mission. People watching the clip say the same thing. This version of Davis isn't here to compete, he's here to destroy. The message is clear, he's not playing around with this rematch. Curmel Moton opens up about sparring with Gervonta Davis, and you can hear the respect in his voice. He remembers that session vividly, not just the power, but the crazy timing and non-stop pressure Davis brought. It wasn't wild aggression, it was calculated, controlled, and overwhelming. Moton watched as Davis broke him down methodically, like a surgeon. That experience showed him just how hard it is to deal with a fighter like Tank, both physically and mentally. It was eye-opening.
What was it like when you sparred him? I know you sparred Tank early on.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Like, replay that experience for me. Like, you coming out of it, what was your thought?
Yeah, I was nervous at first. I think I was 15 at the time we sparred, so he wasn't really like trying to knock me out or nothing like that. But we was going like, he was using the speed on me. Like, we was both like going speed for speed, and it was great. It was like a chess match.
Did you understand in that moment, like, why he is who he is?
Yeah. I seen why he's able to beat these guys. Then I also seen why I'm so I got all this hype around me too.
Even knowing the risks, Curmel once said he'd love a chance to face Davis before Tank retires. It wasn't about proving something to others, it was about testing himself. He sees Davis as one of the most complete fighters in the game, and stepping into the ring with him would be the ultimate measuring stick. Sure, it's dangerous, but that kind of challenge is what real fighters crave. To Moton, it's not just about glory, it's about respecting greatness enough to go toe-to-toe with it.
He is a big fight. Do you think Tank will retire before you can, because there is a small possibility. He's still at 35, so maybe you can catch him at 40 in 5 years, right? He's, 29? He'll be 29 November, or he's 29 now? One of the two, so he'll be 30. Technically, it'll be like him fighting Loma. Loma's 36, or you don't even think about that?
I don't think about it. I'm not really focused on it. I'm focused on now, my upcoming fights, take one fight at a time, but who knows what the future holds. I do know Tank said that he ain't want to be around that much longer though. From what he said, take care of not Devin no more. He don't even want to fight Devin no more. But Shakur, what's he said, Tiafimo? I think he said he wanted to retire, but who knows?
People often compare Curmel to Davis, and rather than take offense, he sees it as a big compliment. Being mentioned in the same breath as someone like Gervonta is a sign of how far he's come. Moton knows Davis isn't just a champ, he's a global icon who delivers fireworks every time he steps in the ring. That comparison pushes Curmel to level up and earn that respect. It's motivation to live up to the hype and prove he belongs among the best.
A lot of people compare you to Tank. When you hear that, like when they call you Tank 2.0 or whatever the case is, how do you feel about that?
I used to take it as like a compliment. When I was an amateur, I used to take it as a compliment. But they comparing me to Tank, he faced the boxing, like the biggest names in the sport, real high skill. But now I feel like I want to make a name for myself. I don't want to be the 2.0 or nobody. I want to be the first me, and make my own.
Oscar De La Hoya. a legend who knows what it takes to win, has weighed in on the upcoming showdown. He gives Lamont Roach credit for his talent and technique, but when it comes to Gervonta Davis, Oscar doesn't sugarcoat it. He points out that Roach is stepping into the ring with a different beast entirely. In De La Hoya's view, Tank brings a level of aggression and fight IQ that's just on another level. Skill or not, Lamont is in for a dangerous night.
No, I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, I mean, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a dedicated fighter when it comes to training and fighting and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that squared circle. It's going to be a tough night for Roach, but you can never count him out. You know, watching him fight up close and personal, he's sneaky good, which means he can catch you at any time. He can land combinations sometimes at will without you even knowing it. You know, he's that sneaky. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But, you know, obviously Gervonta Davis has the experience. He has the knowledge. He has that mean streak in him that will take you out with any punch.
Frank Martin didn't hold back with his honest take on the rematch. He respects what Lamont Roach brings to the table, but he's predicting a rough road ahead. Martin sees Davis slowly breaking Roach down with a steady mix of power and control. He expects Tank to push the pace and back Roach into survival mode. From Frank's perspective, Davis's relentless pressure is both physical and mental, and once it starts, it doesn't let up.
They're trying to get that fight more of a, like, oh, it's gonna be a good fight, but no, Roach is a decent fighter, but Tank gonna dog him. Tank gonna dog him.
For sure, I agree.
Steven Espinosa offers a big picture view that adds depth to the rematch buzz. He notes that Davis is at his most dangerous in the 135-pound division, where his speed and knockout power are in perfect sync, while Tank has stepped up to 140 before. Espinosa believes lightweight is where he truly dominates. He also hints at behind-the-scenes trouble in landing big fights, like one with Shocker Stevenson, due to complex contract negotiations. Still, Espinosa remains sure of one thing: the star is only rising.
Yeah, for sure.
Waking up in Texas and coming over here, I'm like, geez, that cold is different, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Steven, Tank versus Lamont Roach, right? March 1st, we're going to get this fight here in New York. There are a lot of questions of why Lamont Roach, right? Let's not discredit him. He's a great fighter, great chin, high IQ. But why Lamont Roach? That's the questions that all the fans are asking at the beginning.
Look, I think the reality is, I think those are fair questions. I mean, look, when you have fighters the caliber of Tank, of Canelo, the bar is always high. When you continue to perform well against high level opposition, people expect a lot from. There were preliminary discussions about the Shakur fight, early on, like back early, for 2024 before this was scheduled. Didn't get very far for reasons I won't go into. But
come on.
I just think there were, I'm not sure that the time was right. I think, what Shakur was looking for was something different than, he was looking for more of a long-term commitment other than just doing one fight, and so he's got his deal, he's getting busy. He's got a fight scheduled, and, maybe we'll pick up and do something there. But aside from that, I mean, to be candid, those are the big names at 135. I know Tank has gone up to 140, and he would on occasion. He hasn't looked the best there. Overall, I think 135 is his best weight.
Inside Davis's training camp, things are far from ordinary. It's pure intensity. One moment in particular turned heads. He reportedly dropped a sparring partner with a single punch, leaving even veteran trainers stunned. That kind of power isn't new for Tank. He's known to hurt people in sparring just like he does in real fights. His focus right now, next level. Davis isn't just getting ready to win, he's preparing to send a message with this rematch.
Yeah. Once Tank felt one more power, he actually really think they're gonna take his power.
I don't think anybody could take his power. He knocked out heavyweights?
Yeah. I was there.
Tell me the story. What happened?
Tank, what's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Tank, is that true? You almost killed a heavyweight in the ring? That's what he said.
Should be happening.
Because he asked me, how does a 135-pounder take your power? I said, I don't think anybody takes the power.
Just not getting there with me. That's how they said.
Were you shocked when you saw that?
Huh?
Were you shocked?
I was just like, man, he better not do that shit to me.
And you know what else he told me? You punched him upstairs, he lost feeling in his leg. No, you did. You told me that, right? No, it happened.
What you doing, bro? You ready?
Was you? Yeah.
Lamont Roach isn't walking into this fight as some long shot hoping for a lucky punch. He's coming in with experience, confidence, and only one blemish on his record. Over time, Roach has sharpened his style, mixing patience with pinpoint accuracy he's learned from past mistakes and now uses them as fuel. His footwork, timing, and mindset are locked in. This isn't about surviving. Davis Roach is ready to test him at every level.
Tank out here selling under 150,000 pay-per-views. You kidding me? Oh man, Face of Boxing. Yeah, turn that shit off. Yeah, we shutting that shit down every single time. Does Shakur really want to fight Tank? I think Shakur could sell a bit more with somebody else, especially in Saudi. I feel like they can find him a dancing partner that'll do a little bit better than 150,000. Okay, I get it. This is why PBC delayed this fight for what, 5 months? Y'all ain't want to pay this motherfucker because y'all know he can't sell. I mean, this should have been evident. If you do the math, Tank has never been that great of a pay-per-view draw. He sold over 300K twice now in his career. He sold over 300K with Ryan Garcia. That's obvious. Ryan's the bigger star. And then he sold over 300 with Martin. He sold about 325. But when we put it in perspective, that Frank Martin fight was a comeback fight after a year layoff, so it was always going to sell. Every comeback fight's going to sell. It was one of the first pay-per-views on Amazon's new PBC deal, so they were really trying to push it. And then he had David Benavidez as the co-main event with Gary Russell and Alberto Puello under them. So you take away all those factors that this wasn't a comeback fight. David Benavidez isn't the co-main event, and Amazon has now been in the game for over a year. It makes sense it only sold 150. I know there's going to be a couple of you guys in the comments. No, it sold 500K. Don't be so gullible. It didn't sell 500K. I don't know if Tank's a top... Well, I know for a fact he's not a top 5 draw in the sport of boxing anymore. Well. He's not selling pay-per-views. Bivol better be just triple him. Well, Jerry, their pay-per-views are cheaper. Don't matter. All that matters is who has more eyes watching him, and Bivol and Better BF do.
Roach's resume speaks for itself. He's a former world champion who's proven he belongs on the big stage. While Gervonta Davis usually commands the spotlight, Lamont has built his own path with grit, skill, and quiet consistency. Wins aren't just about toughness, they showcase his ring IQ and calm under pressure. Critics who brush him off are missing the depth he brings to the table. Unlike fighters who crumble when things get tough, Roach adjusts, regroups, and fights.
Look like a real businessman now, you know? He's not all loud and crazy like he was. He's kind of calmed it and tamed it down a bit. So I respect that with Ryan, man, and I think he's gonna be a lot more focused now, and he's actually gonna go and train, and he's gonna definitely put on the show, and I think he's gonna win, man. I think he's gonna win by knockout.
How long does that fight go in your opinion?
It won't go past 6.
Wow, everyone's been saying that.
I don't think it goes past 6.
Why?
What's up, fam?
Why do you guys think it?
Nah, there's too many hoes in the game of too many hoes. Too many hoes.
I like this.
Too many hoes in this game.
Cut that right now. Okay, cut that out.
Too many hoes in this game, man. Y'all know, man. Come on, nobody's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Stevie Wonder, you can see that he got a lot of hoes in this game, man. You know, he's very unconventional, but you know, got some pop on his shots, but that's it. You know, I think Ryan's gonna catch him with that left hook, and it's gonna be 9-9.
How shocking would it be if Rolly pulled the upset?
That'll be shocking as hell if Rolly pulled off the upset. Yeah. But I think Rolly's damaged goods, man. I mean, if you look at his last couple of fights, bro, he hasn't been the same since he got knocked out by Gervonta Davis, bro. He hasn't been the same. You know, sometimes one fight can ruin your entire career, man. He's just not the same. not the same mentally, he's not the same physically, bro. And after he left his coach, there's, you know, the coach has been, you know, that was coach starting out, good Bullet. He looks a little different. No disrespect to anybody that's working with him now, but he just looks different, bro. It's not the same fighter.
What about Devin returning against Ramirez?
Good fight, but Devin should be able to outbox Ramirez. I love Ramirez to death. I love him to death, but he can be outboxed. You know, he comes forward. He got great left hook. We're going to see if Devin learned anything. A little slower with the left hook, but Ramirez got pop. He got pop on that left hook, man. So it's a good test for Devin, you know, because you already know what's lined up.
After the fight, Gervonta Davis's reaction stirred up some heated conversations. Instead of giving Roach props, Davis pointed to personal distractions and ring rust to explain the close call. That didn't sit well with a lot of people in boxing. Many felt it was a way to dodge giving Roach the credit he'd earned. Sure, every fighter has the right to talk about their performance, but critics argue that brushing off a tough fight like that takes away from the growth and effort Roach showed in the ring. It felt less like reflection and more like deflection.
We gotta talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on the decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Brian Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was gonna look at them like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Amid all the debate, one fact can't be ignored. Gervonta Davis is a master of in-ring adjustments. When the momentum shifts, he doesn't lose focus. He reads his opponents like a book, then tweaks his game plan on the fly. Whether it's suddenly switching gears from defensive to aggressive or managing distance under pressure, Davis knows how to flip the fight in his favor. That kind of adaptability is rare. Even if things start rough, Tank always finds a way to regain control. That's what makes him so hard to beat.
He's going to try to get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. You know, a lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a stick and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly closes those gaps. You know, inch by inch, step by step, and then he gets to you. He reminds me of the old-time janitors, the superintendents in the big buildings, those big buildings, and they had a big brass key ring about this big with 1,000 keys on it. But every key, they knew that key was for a certain door to get into the building. When he's moving around, I'm saying, he's the super with that big key ring, and he's looking for the right key to get in the door.
You're great with the analogies. I love the analogies.
And he finds the right key.
He does.
He doesn't walk into a room and like bang, you know, oh my God, I should open that door. And a lot of guys do. Romero walked into that room. Garcia walked into that room, you know. He don't. And that's part of what separates him and makes him a guy that's one of the most complete fighters right now of our time.